At the most zoomed out level, the sport can be broken down into two types of racing: draft legal racing and non-drafting racing. So draft legal is known as Olympic style racing, as it's the format used for the Olympic triathlon, and it's also the style of racing used in the World Triathlon Series. This racing is known as draft legal racing because on the bike leg, road bikes are used and the drafting of your competitors is allowed and also part of the race tactics. You can also draft on the swim and the run too, although there's really not much benefit to be had on the run. Non-drafting racing, on the other hand, has the same rules apart from on the bike leg, where you are not allowed to ride within a certain distance of your competitors. This illegal zone ranges from 7 to 20 metres long and 3 to 5 metres wide, depending on the event. As a result of this, the bikes used are designed to put the rider in a position which prioritises aerodynamics, with all of the kit being used also being designed to minimise air resistance and maximise speed. For the purposes of today's video, we're going to be looking at non-drafting racing and what it takes to be a pro. Non-drafting racing can be over a number of distances, with the most common being Sprint, Olympic, 70.3 and Ironman. For today's video, we'll be looking at the 70.3 and Iron distance events, as the Sprint and Olympic distances are pretty hit and miss when it comes to offering a pro pathway. There have been events in the past which have offered big money at these distances, but they are not nearly as frequent or prestigious as the events over the half Iron and Iron distances. Now, racing at most of these events is split into a number of categories. So first up, age group racing. It's grouped into 5-year categories, so you get 20 to 24, 25 to 29, 30 to 34 and so on, in which you'll be racing against other competitors your age. There is also then the pro category, which is the category where the fastest athletes will be racing, and they'll also be racing for a share of the event's prize purse. The pinnacle of racing over the 70.3 distances is currently the Ironman 70.3 World Champs and the Challenge Championship. Over the Iron distance, the World Championships at Kona take this title. Challenge Roth has never seemed to quite match up to the reputation which Kona holds in most long distance triathletes' hearts. So to get into the pro category and race for money at these events, you need to get eligibility from either Challenge or Ironman to do so. Ironman requires you to send them either a copy of your professional license from your respective World Triathlon member National Triathlon Federation, or if this is not available, a letter from an officer of the National Tri Federation confirming professional status can be submitted. On top of this, Ironman also charge a $900 membership fee, which allows you to then race in any Ironman branded event for that calendar year. If you don't want to stump out for the full membership, you can also pay $500 to race one full distance event as a pro, or $250 to race a single 70.3. The process for challenge events is exactly the same except for the cost of membership. With challenge, the membership is completely free. However, it does not guarantee you free entry into events. Challenge give free entry for athletes ranked 1 to 250 in the triathlon prize money ranking. Athletes ranked from 251 to 400 get 50% off their entry fees, and for athletes ranked 401 and above, entry benefits are at the discretion of the race director, which from my limited experience is normally fairly generous. The other thing worth mentioning is that for both of these, once you go pro, you're no longer allowed to race in any age group event regardless of whether or not it has a pro field. So both of these memberships require a license or letter from your country's triathlon governing body, and here in the UK we don't have a licensing system, and so you need to get your hand on one of these letters. British Triathlon is the UK's triathlon governing body, and they lay out a set of criteria which you must reach in order to be granted a long distance pro license letter. There are 3 ways in which you can qualify for professional elite status. You will automatically qualify for a pro license if you have been or are a British Triathlon Performance Programme athlete. Also, if you have raced in the ITU World Tri Series or another major game in the previous 3 years. If you've been selected by British Tri for the Elite ITU or ETU Long or Middle Distance Championships in the previous 3 years, provided that you finished within 8% of the elite winner at the event. Or finally, if you finished in the top 25 in the elite field of either the Ironman World Long Distance Championships, Kona, or the Ironman World 70.3 Championships in any year. So these criteria are aimed at athletes stepping up from draft legal racing or people with a history of results at the biggest stages in long distance racing. The second way which you can achieve a pro license is qualification via results. So you need to achieve the required number of results shown within this snazzy table here. And the caveat of that is that it has to be an Ironman, Ironman 70.3, a challenge or an ITU branded event within the 12 months previous to when you apply for your license. Finally, there are also a number of other events which give UK athletes the opportunity to gain their pro status. The overall age group winner at the Ironman World Championships or the Ironman 70.3 World Championships or the Challenge Championship will be eligible for a licence. Also, the first male and female athlete to finish on the podium in the following races, who is not already currently a pro, and provided that they finish within 4% of the overall male or female winner, will achieve their licence. The events are the Outlaw Half, Ironman UK, the Outlaw Full, the British Middle Distance Championships, and the Outlaw Half Holcomb. So there you have it. If you're looking to get a pro licence in the UK, that is what you have to do. And I made this video partly for myself, so I know what I need to do, as that's what I'm targeting this season. But also I've had a few questions of people asking, are you going to get your pro licence? And hopefully this goes like a bit of the way to explaining what that actually involves. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave it a like. It took me far longer than I thought it would, cutting out all of this paper and writing and editing. Stop motion is not fun, but hopefully something a bit different. I like to keep it varied on this channel. So yeah, like the video, leave a comment if you've got any questions at all. Make sure to subscribe if you're new, and I will see you in the next one.